Hey, it's not Tuesday, it's Wednesday. We're a day late. What are you gonna do? I don't know what to tell you. Thanks for tuning in to Total Schmidt Show. Tune in every week. I travel the world entertaining people, talking to other people that travel the world entertaining people. And starting today's episode, a little bit different. Some new subscribers I want to give a shout out to that I haven't done in the last few weeks. So let's start with Laura Henshaw. Lori Solanka, who's been a follower forever, but she just got an upgraded membership. Also at the very top, I'm sorry, I missed Sandy Bendel. Thank you for signing up. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, Neil DeSimon, who's from Chicago, and I will see when I go back there in October. But those are new subscribers to LennySchmidt.com. If you want to support the podcast and the channel or the content, just go to LennySchmidt.com and you can for free. You can do all that for free. So, subscribe for free or go to the top. Pay if you can. There's a little button that says pay if you can, and that's our membership button. You can join for free or you can support us for cash. We'll take as much as you want, anywhere from $1 to $1,000. Today's episode, BT, one of my favorite buddies. He's a comic from Indianapolis, travels all over the world. Man, he's one of the most inspiring, energetic guys I have ever worked with or met. And just an hour with BT, and I want to go out and do some push-ups. So sit back, watch this show. There's a little intro after this, and then the music and all that stuff. But the bottom line is, this is Total Schmidt Show. Let's do this. Total Schmidt Show Season 3 is upon us. Tune in every week. I talk to entertainers from all over the world. Singers, dancers, comics, musicians, drummers, blah, 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 all kinds. Techs, even some cruise directors. Most of the entertainers I talk to work on cruise ships. If you ever wanted to know what entertainers do, how they get through their day, any of the behind-the-scenes stuff about entertaining, we'll talk about that stuff here, as well as we'll delve into some of the entertainers and some of their works, some of their albums coming up, some of the things they've done in the past, the things you can look forward to in the future. All that stuff you can catch here on Total Schmidt Show. But either way, get yourself a pizza, a beer, some bourbon, light up a cigar, or some sort of joint, or whatever type of crutch or vice you need to get through the evening, and sit back and enjoy whatever it is I put together this week on You're welcome. Hey man, this week's episode of Total Schmidt Show, this guy.
Me.
BT.
BT.
Thank you. You're welcome. I'm sorry, you're welcome.
No, thank you, bro. I think it was a good one. It's really heartfelt. I mean, we get out in the soul, deep up in the soul. They get to throw a canary down in it. That's how deep we get. And it's a great one. So listen up and never forget, never give up on your dreams. Listen to the podcast. Until Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
Peace. There we go. Dude, good to see you this week, dude. This was awesome.
I mean it from the bottom of my heart, man. Yeah. Seeing your name was great, but when we both came out of the room at the same time, I saw you had your notebooks.
Yeah,
I was like, fucking A. I really was. I was like, fucking A. That's when I I've always liked working with you, but man, when you had the notebooks, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Working with Lenny.
Got all my stuff with me, my notes, stuff. Yeah.
I love that. That, and like I said, whenever I have an acting audition or whenever I get an act, I always think of you. You're going, God, I love acting. And that I just remember you saying that, but you said it with such a passion that whenever I go to acting class, there's a little bit of you always there in the back of my head.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean it from the bottom of my heart,
man.
I always like, because you always go, I love acting, and I was like, it's always there. A little bit's always there.
Yeah, dude, I miss it, dude. I don't do none of it anymore.
It's a disgrace. I mean, I realize what you got to do.
Yeah,
we talked, and I realized that. But man, there's got to be a way.
I would love to. I think in 2026, I'm going to try and schedule so that I have some time off every month where I can just take an acting class. You can just take an acting class.
Well, you can self-tape auditions and send them in.
Yeah, I know you can do all that stuff, but I miss acting class. I liked the life of. I mean, when I was innocent, it was different when I was married and they had a different life. I'd do his TV and commercial auditions, but I was lucky. I had good rep. I was going out 5 to 8 times a week, but I went to acting class every week, and I could go more than once a week if I wanted to. I loved it. That lifestyle, I just loved it. Just going there and studying a scene and not just acting, but I would watch the whole class. Some people do a scene and leave. I stayed the whole day. We'll watch other actors because you're learning constantly from other performers. And I learned something from every person in class with me. The other actors. We all were professional actors. We all knew what we were doing. So every once in a while they would do a scene and you would catch something they did. The teacher would talk about it or they would talk about it and you would pick something up every class.
Yes, and that's why I just go, man, you got to find a way. Like either do your schedule where maybe you're going on the weekend, or maybe you're going like the first, I don't know, or 3, whatever.
Yeah,
you gotta find a way to do it, because I mean it's a shame that you're not.
I know. Thanks.
You'd be a great fucking detective, or a gritty detective, you know, or but I can see you doing that, or just anything.
Well, it's so much harder to get. This business has changed so much now too. There's not as much work out there, audition wise, as there used to be. You know what I mean? So that makes it harder, but you can also write and control your own content, which is something I'm leaning toward doing with my daughters. I'm thinking about writing a short and doing with my youngest. I think that's the route we're going to go.
See, I think it's the exact opposite. I think it's the best time ever, because you could self-tape, which means you can go and do this, but you get an audition, and the way you got your shit set up, you can do it in your room or wherever.
Yeah.
So you can do the audition, and when you get back, like I said, I know you got responsibilities, but it got to be one day you can go to acting class, and then you feel like, okay, you get the chops back, and you get confident, and then if you have to go out, you have to go out, but still, so you're not really out of the loop, and like I said, you can write your own content. I mean, you're always constantly writing, so write something with you and your daughters, and either film it or whatever, and put it out there, and somebody's gonna see it. Like, I mean, we got all these channels, all these everything's streaming.
Well, that's what I always think about. There's so many more shows out there.
There's gotta be.
There's shows that I don't even know about. Like, there used to be a day when you knew every show.
Yes, yeah. It used to be the old days where you remember some comics would just come into LA from January till March.
Yeah, pilot season.
And now that's basically gone, because it's everything's wide open.
It's kind of still there, but it doesn't mean nowhere near what it used to be.
No,
because now some of these shows come out, you hear about, they go, somebody will mention a show to you, go, oh, what's it on? It's on like Ubi. And it's in season 8. Like, wait, what? There's 80 episodes of the show on
exactly.
there. But they cast them and shoot them constantly.
Yeah.
And the way they do those streamers, they shoot them in a 2-month process. It's no longer like if you got a TV show where you did a season and a season and a season. Those streamers, they shoot them all in like 2 or 3 months. They'll shoot like 2 seasons sometimes.
Exactly.
And then they get them all in the can and edit them. And then sometimes, like, some of these guys I know have worked, shot stuff, and then 2 years later it comes out on a platform.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just want you to do that, bro. I really do. I can tell you, I think you'd be fucking just great.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you would. So it's like, just find a way, man.
Well, I need to approach it differently. I need to find a different theatrical agent. I got a commercial agent.
There you go. Who's you?
I'm with Robertson Taylor. They're a division of. They've actually been those agents at Robertson Taylor. I have been with for over 20 years.
Okay.
But they've moved from one. The business moved. It was originally Acme, then it was Talent Works, it was something else.
I remember Acme.
It worked its way all through these different companies. And when the dust settles, there's one guy there that I've been working with, Matt. He's been there forever.
Okay.
I know him from Brian. I'm sorry, Brian's been there. He was Emily's original assistant, who was my original agent. And he's been the one guy that's been the constant through all of it.
Okay.
And now there's Mandy that helps run the division.
Yeah.
But I know them, and they're great. They work on my schedule. They send me stuff. So... And I love it when I get an audition. I think it's great. I just had a spot. I was up for, and it was a good one. It shot for 2 weeks in Brazil. I would have shot over there. And one thing it would have done for me is, like, I'm SAG. I'm vested 8 years, so I have my pension, but I won't get it till I'm 65. But if I get 2 more years in SAG, I get the 10-year pension, which is different. You get it earlier, and I think you get the medical and some other stuff. So
medical.
Yeah, and I'd like to get back to having the insurance. The insurance is great.
Yes.
I mean, insurance.
That's
is
what I'm
phenomenal.
saying,
but you
man.
need to make so much money to get that stuff, but you need to get out there.
You're in it. I mean, it's like I always feel like I'm so far removed, but I mean, it's like being in the Midwest or wherever where I'm at. I mentally, I just want to be in LA so bad. I mean, go back. I mean, I know it's different, and I'm sure it's a lot of just nostalgia. But I mean, I loved it out there. It was my fault that I didn't take advantage of everything. I had everything. It was my fault. I fucked it up. But I mean,
well, you're younger. You know what I mean? I can handle things better. I could have handled things. You look back, you go, but it's a lesson learned. It's made you who you are today, bro.
But you keep that foot in the door, you hit that foot just a little bit. I mean, look at the stuff you get just by staying relatively relevant. We still get little stuff here and there, so it's like you just keep plugging away and just you just never know. That's why. But the great thing about being in LA, I was talking to somebody about this. They go, is the promise of a new day. That's the great thing about LA. It's like you curse that city so much, like, man, this city, but something might happen. Like, I forget who I was talking to. They met somebody from Sony, because they were at a taco stand eating tacos in the back at one of the picnic tables, and they got struck up a conversation. Ended up being some dude at Sony, and he got a role in I think like either a movie or a TV thing, or like a TV show, just a guest starring show, whatever. But he got it because he just met him at a taco place.
Yeah.
Just shooting the shit with him.
It's an industry city, man. So that stuff happens while you're there.
That's
great. But it's like it's alive every day. It's like an everyday lottery.
Everyday lottery.
That's the cool thing about
that
it.
Is.
That's what I miss about the lifestyle. Like, even when I was there going to acting class every day, you knew, even in acting class, someone would go, hey, man, I'm working on something you would be really good for. You should come in and read for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see somebody leaving the credit union, the SAG credit union.
Yeah.
And they'll say something, hey, man, they're shooting them. I mean, that's the great thing about it. They say what they want about LA, this and that, but actors, everybody help everybody. They always drop a line here, like, hey, man, you might want to do this and that. They're looking for people like this, like you, people that work out, or blah, blah. It's always been that way, which is always great.
And there's so much more, because my daughter has been looking at some casting stuff. There's more stuff out there for, like, when I reached a point in SAG where I had a quote, and I would only do guest stars or special guest stars. And I think those days are kind of behind me, and they're not there for a lot of people, because if you want to work, you got to work.
Yes.
And it's not like an under 5 is one thing, but a co-star, whatever, I don't think the title is so much. But there's so much stuff that's just being shot out there in LA because of these different platforms and streaming, that people are shooting their own stuff. And like, hey, we're going to shoot this thing. You want to spend a weekend? Like, I've done like a bunch of short films in the last couple of years.
Aren't they the greatest?
Yeah, and they're great, because then you can really act and get into it, and you have to worry about dealing with too many people above you. There's always one guy running up. One guy, there's like 4 people. You know what I mean? Running everything.
Yes, and but you can feel the passion, because they really want that to go well.
And the work, they put so much care into the work.
They do.
What I mean? Yeah.
It's like it's their baby.
Yeah.
And you feel that, and so you feel an obligation. I mean, anytime you do work, you put a pride. At least you should have a pride in it. But it's really, really, it's like, you're all working at one central goal, and no one's getting paid a lot of money. You're doing it basically out of your passion of your heart, but that's what makes it good, though. Right. You know what I mean? That's what, like, it's like watching it's like if your kid cooks you a meal.
Yeah.
They tried. Daddy, I'm cooking Daddy a meal. Even if it tastes like shit, you're still going to eat it. You go, thanks, buddy. You know what I mean?
Thanks, this is great.
Yeah, you put too much pepper in or whatever, like all the salt. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah. Get your salt level checked, because he's going to kill you with a heart attack.
Yeah, my daughter used to make, she used to make me something, soup. She's called soup.
Yeah.
And basically it was everything out of the cabinet. It was like olive oil and pepper and cumin, and it was this bowl. Here you go, Daddy. She's little, right? And I'm looking at it. It's just a bowl of spices with soup and vinegar. I go, oh, this is going to be great. And, and my wife is laughing. You know what I mean? And she would get so excited, though.
Exactly. She
was so happy.
She
made me this soup.
And that's exactly what that is, man. It's people putting a project together. That's why, I do my little minute reviews on TikTok and everything else.
Yeah, those are great, dude. Yeah.
And that's why it's hard for me to give somebody a bad review, because I know that somewhere down the line, that was somebody's passion, and sometimes it just don't work out that way. Sometimes it just somewhere between the actual shooting of it and the editing, it's just like, that's why it's hard for me to say this movie's a piece of shit. I have a hard time saying it, but if it is, I have to say it. But if it is, but I have no problem saying that if it's a really big movie, right? Because the big movies, it's like,
they're different now. It's a whole different world. Some of those movies are just made to make money anyway.
But that's why I love independent foreign movies.
Or they're made to lose money.
Yeah.
Sometimes they specifically make money because it'll lose money.
Why is that?
Because they can write it off. They write off the losses.
See, that's I hate that kind of philosophy.
Yeah.
I like movies where, I guess that's why I like independent foreign movies. Mm-hmm. Man, they're just so,
or a lot of movies, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, that's right.
But here's something they do a lot that blows me away. They'll release a movie that doesn't do well, but the reason they released it is that they have a talent attached to this movie, and they don't want them to do another movie for someone else. So they put them in this movie, they lock them into this crappy movie, and that type of stuff happens a lot with screenwriters, contracts, all this stuff. Yeah, I didn't know this story, but that's the deal. There's long stories of that happening for years.
That's horrible, man. Because you work so hard being an actor and trying to get to this level, and then they do you like that, and that'll kill your spirit.
Yeah. No, it'll totally destroy you. Like, I was just reading an article with Tom Selleck. It's funny in hindsight, because he was up for Raiders of the Lost Ark. He actually had it. He was in. But he also was up for Magnum P.I. at the same time. So they were bouncing back and forth, and Tom Selleck worked it out with CBS that he could do the movie and wouldn't step on anything. And he told Spielberg at the time, he said, I can do this movie for sure, I'll be okay. But then the head of CBS came in the back door and told Spielberg, no, wait, we're not going to let him release him and give him time. We're going to make it difficult for you to shoot in the movie. So they left, and they ended up going with Harrison Ford. And at the time, this is before Magnum was released. So this at the time, and Selleck has been. I like that guy a lot. I was a big fan of Blue Bloods. I watched all the show. I like his mindset as far as Hollywood goes. In hindsight, even then I wasn't really mad about it. He goes, because I was lucky to be attached to a show that might go somewhere. I was going to be the star of the show that might go somewhere. He goes, so I couldn't really be mad because I kind of achieved my goal. Yeah. So now it's a business, and those things are on my hand, and I can't let those things bother me.
That's a great mindset.
And right, but then Magnum became what it did, and who knows if it didn't become what it did, if he would have had, or if he would have became who he was. Because Magnum, look what happened after that. He's been huge since then. Quickly and everything else he's done. At Blue Bloods, I loved that show. You know,
so it's like he made out okay. You know, they both did better than okay. They both did. They both did.
But in the long run, a lot of times everybody wins.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Everybody wins on that.
Yeah,
Clooney went through a similar situation with ER. You know what I mean? But he got on ER.
Yeah,
so.
But Harrison killed it, that role. I remember seeing that. That was Saturday afternoon matinee movie.
I love that movie.
I mean, it really was.
Yeah, when I was a kid, that was that old school popcorn movie.
Old school popcorn movie. It's funny. It's action. It's just great. Like it. You said it best. Nobody knows what I talk about when I say a popcorn movie, but that's the ultimate popcorn movie. Yeah. It's just a great movie. Like, if you have any kids, man, just show them that movie, and you can watch it all together. It's just beautiful. Yeah. You know, I hate snakes. I love it. Yeah. But if you watch it like again, like they, I think you can see the glass when the cobra comes up. You can see the reflection.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you watch it now, you can see the reflection of, I guess it's the glass, whatever, of the cobra's reflection when he comes up. So I guess it didn't strike.
They might have removed that by now with the technology.
Maybe they have. Maybe they have. But I remember you used to, because somebody told me that, and I watched. I go, yeah. If you really watch it, yeah.
Because you're not thinking about it at the time, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, what is it? Give me the bag. I go, give me the bag. And he gave him the bag, and he, bye. Remember he did him wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, and that rock is coming. God, how great was that, man?
Yeah. No, it was a great movie.
Man, Spielberg just, he cranks out just.
Dude, I can't believe how consistently great he is.
He just, yeah. He's always
great.
It's just always good shit.
They're fantastic.
But he got shut out.
Those are old school popcorn movies.
But he got shut out for Color Purple, though. That's what made me. That's what I was like. Really?
He got what?
He got shut out for Color Purple when they got to the Academy Award. Remember?
Oh no,
he did Color Purple, and they were up for all these awards, and they didn't get anything. And I was like, really? So they were all happy. Remember, Oprah was like, yeah, we're gonna, and nothing. I was like, fuck, really? I mean, nothing. I go, Spielberg, shut out, really?
Yeah, right.
Really? It's like Mike Tyson's getting beat on points, you know what I mean? Yeah. In the 80s, you know what I mean?
He'd go beat up the score guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not on points!
Yeah, exactly.
Guy's running out the door, he's chasing him down.
Exactly, man. Exactly. But yeah, man, Spielberg, Scorsese, I mean, they're the kind of people that just, they just, everything they do is just.
Well, dude, I'm a big Tarantino fan too, man. I love all this stuff.
Oh my God, dude! I kicked myself in the ass for not initially watching The Hateful Eight.
Oh, really?
Because it was so fun. But
I know a lot of people that really hate that movie, but I love it.
Oh my God, it was great.
Also, did you watch it in the original in the theater with the?
No, I watched it here,
dude.
I watched it and I was like, okay, I'll watch it.
You've got to get a chance to see it in the original camp because he uses the camp. What's he shoots it in 8 or something like that? I can't remember because he's a crazy film buff. And if you watch it in the original theater, the way it was meant to be seen, it's cinematically, it's amazing.
Unique New York.
She sells
Unique New York.
Unique, yeah. Cinematically, it's a phenomenal movie. The opening scene is like 5 minutes of just a stagecoach coming through the mountains, and it's just, I mean, it's a beautiful movie, and I love all of it. And he's a crazy film buff. He owns a theater in L.A., and my brother goes to his theater a lot, and he puts up a lot of old films that he grew up with. Just, here's a movie I watched in the 70s, and, and he puts them up. Every once in a while he goes to watch them. He pops in and he shows the movies. But he believes in old popcorn, old school movies, man. He likes that.
You know what?
Films, real. Tom Cruise is the last real, my brother calls Tom Cruise the last real movie star that we have alive.
A lot of people say that, and I agree, but I also think Brad Pitt,
Denzel for sure.
George Clooney.
And Denzel's great.
Cruise, Denzel, Brad Pitt, Clooney, movie star. Those 4 right off the bat.
Yeah.
There might be somebody I'm missing, but those 4 definitely. And definitely Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
definitely.
Tom Cruise,
But definitely Denzel. But Clooney and Pitt, when they're on screen, it's like, that's a movie star.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just... but funny you say that because to own a movie theater, I would love to own one where you show the shit where it's going to make you money. You show the shit that's, people are going to come in. And then, but have it on this side, have it be the independent, the indies.
Yeah, have both.
But kind of have it where they come in separate interests in a way.
Right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause I don't want it's like a gated community.
Two different groups.
It's like a gated community
together.
and the projects, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, you guys are going to mingle.
You should have plexiglass between the two of them so they can look at each other.
You go to intermingle, but not really. You know what I mean? Like
that way they can make look at those other people.
Exactly.
Enjoy your cartoon.
Yeah. You have like a latte and you watch the movie like, oh, this is a French avant-garde.
Yeah. There's guys they say with Red Bull and tank top.
Yeah.
Woo!
Watch
Drugs.
Watch some Marvel fucking movie. You know what I mean? Because that's going to make you money. But the indies, those
some 6-hour Marvel marathon.
Yeah, I mean that's what I like. There's 2 movie theaters I like going to when I home. One is like 5 minutes from me, and they basically show all of them, but they also have the best popcorn in the fucking.
Really?
They have the best popcorn and butter. It's like always good. But the other movie I see, it's really just for independent movies, and it's kind of far away. But they also have, I think, an even better popcorn and butter than the one I go to. So it's like sometimes I wonder if am I going for the popcorn? Am I going for the fucking movie? so yeah, but the other one is really independent. They never show any like big. Like I don't know how they stay in business actually, because they all show the ones you go, I never seen this motherfucker. Like they don't, the movies you don't see trailers for, but you know it's gonna be a good movie.
There's a ton of movies that come out every year that you never hear about.
You don't see trailers, but you go, oh, this is gonna be a motherfucker. Like that chick. I think she's Swedish. I don't know, is it Rampants? She played the original. The Swedish dude's movie. The Americans remade it. The Hornet's Nest. Sting from the Hornet's Nest. The Scorpions. Anyway, she was in that movie, and she was in The Drop with Tom Hardy. She was in The Drop with Tom Hardy. Rampants, and she was also in Prometheus.
Oh,
Rampants, or something like that.
Oh, not Charlize Theron. Is
No,
it?
and she was also in a movie on Netflix that was called What About Monday, and this movie was fucking brilliant. There was these girls. They were sextuplets. It was 6 of them, right? So they got the same job, and they all would go different days, and they all at the end of the day, because they were all identical, and they ask them, how was your day? And then she tell them what's going on at work, and the other one would go to work on Wednesday, the other one would go to work on Thursday, the other one would go on Friday. And so it was 5 daughters, and they all looked alike, but they all go to work, and everybody thought they was the same person. And they end up, for some reason they got in trouble. They found out what was going on at the company, and they killed all the daughters except for one, and her name was Monday. And the daughters were named Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
No way.
Yeah, the dad did that, and the dad.
Noomi Rapace?
That's it.
All right.
Dude, she's a fucking actress.
And Glenn Close is in this movie too.
Watch her in Prometheus. She was great. She's great in Prometheus.
I saw Prometheus. Who she played?
Remember the one she had, her boyfriend was infected with like the alien thing.
Yeah.
Okay, then they had to kill him because so it was Idris Elba. He had it was Charlize Theron. She blowtorched him.
Right.
And the Idris Elba had to kick him out. He won't come on board.
Right.
But they were boyfriend and girlfriend. So she felt she had. So she literally had to cut it out of herself.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, that was a tough scene. I remember that.
But she is an actress. I mean, she's always been just right. I would love to be in a movie with her. She's fucking great. And in the Drop, it was all that movie was an underrated great movie. It was with the dude from The Sopranos, the one that died.
Gandolfini?
Yeah, it was. I think it was his last movie. It was him, Tom Hardy, and her.
Dude, I love Tom Hardy.
And this movie, The Drop, was like one of those movies that a lot of people didn't see, but it was so good because Tom Hardy kind of played like a schmo. At least you think he does. And like he and
that's when he's the best dude, when you think he's a schmo and he's not.
And he and Gandolfini used to run shit, but now they didn't anymore. But they kind of ran like a little.
Oh, this is the one where they shoot the guy to steal. Oh, they get caught. Yeah, I saw this movie.
How great was, and she was Tom Hardy and her they liked each other, but they didn't really get they liked each other, but there wasn't any. He wanted to romance a star, but he didn't. But you could tell they liked each other, and all centered on a dog.
Right. No,
the dog
remember
that, and the dude was the kind of a bully. And he's like, "Hey, I want that dog. That dog's mine." Well, you know what I mean? He didn't really take care of the dog.
Yeah, Hardy was phenomenal in that movie.
And then,
well, he's on great there.
And you see the process just building him. In the very end, when he goes, when he shoots him, he goes, you know, people like that, you just have to fucking kill them, because if not, they just keep taking and taking. Yeah. And he explodes, because the whole movie, he's just, but it's great because you see him and it finally explodes out, and that little monologue he does at the end, dude, I felt that shit. Yeah. Because it was like, you know, in a way, I kind of feel that way. Like, I let people, you know, take advantage of me. It's a little too much, but when it does come out, it's like that. It's like, you know, you motherfucker, I try to be fucking nice to you, and that's what I felt that. You know what I mean? Like, I felt that was me. I felt like, you know, like sometimes people. Yeah,
that's your inner frustration.
It is. I let people I'm like, all right, man, it's cool, but I'm thinking. And then when it happens, it all comes out. It's like, I will fucking bury you, motherfucker. And it's like, whoa, BT. But it's like, you know, I keep that shit inside.
Let me note that down. Don't piss off BT. Stay on his good side.
But that's what it is, though. So I felt that. So that movie was so damn good, bro. And it's to me, that's what independent movies are. It's those movies that you never see a trailer for, and you just you look at it and go, okay, I'll give it a shot, and you find yourself going, wow. Like that, the actress I was telling you about, she was in a movie last year. I didn't see one trailer for it, but I went to go see it because of her. And to describe it, it's just crazy, but that was an acting force that, like, the soul of something evil would go inside her. You couldn't tell to the very end, and she would literally have to break the bones and come out of that person's literal body, and her soul would go into somebody else. And you wouldn't tell until all of a sudden they did something weird, and they literally went and it come out of their soul. But it wasn't like creepy. It wasn't creepy in the sense of like a
horror movie.
Like a horror movie, but you bought into it.
Yeah.
And she would just go through like it's like a period piece. She go through periods and she would be that person. Like,
right. Oh, so she was like live forever.
Kind of, yeah. Dude, it was fucking mind blowing. I can't remember the name of it to save my life. It was an independent movie. You had to read, and that's one thing. That's another thing great about independent foreign movies is sometimes you watch a movie in a movie theater and it gets so boring. Sometimes, say your phone goes off and you check who hit me up. Oh, I'll hit him up later.
Yeah.
And you might miss some. But on an independent foreign movie, you have to read.
Yeah.
So you're engaged the whole time. You're going like this because you can't afford
my brother's a big believer in those. He loves subtitles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to be engaged, and you're watching it like this the whole time, and that's why I love it. And I would like to own a movie theater, man. I think.
Wait, you got your phone on during a movie?
Well, I mean, it's on, but it's like in my, like this,
I turn mine off completely, dude. Don't even mess around.
There you go.
Bam.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I really like the Escape.
You're right. Yes, you're right.
I remember when I was a kid having the Escape, and my daughters are the same way. For one, I'll give my daughters, they love, they're as much as millennials as they can be.
Yeah.
There's certain things they're old school about.
Yeah.
And my daughter, Anna, and also she works in the industry, so she's like, no, respect the movie, turn it off, watch the movie.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
There's nothing better to me. I mean, I have a couple passions. It's motorcycles, entertainment. And motorcycles and entertainment, like movies and motorcycles, basically, Right. And when it comes to movies, man, that's why I always say, I mean, I feel like we're living the dream. I'm living the dream, right?
Yeah.
I'm in this business. I want to be in movies. If I want to be a working actor in movies, right? But I'm still living the dream because I'm doing what I want to do, telling jokes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when I had it, when I was riding my motorcycle, I was like, I'm living the dream. I got a motorcycle and a pickup truck. I mean, that's the two things I always wanted to have: pickup truck and a motorcycle.
Right,
so
right.
I mean, seriously, I'm Oklahoma goals. So it's like, I've always wanted.
Dude, pickup truck would be kind of cool.
Dude,
I never thought about it because once I got kids, I moved to minivans so fast and didn't look back. I'm like, whatever. I always wanted to be a dad. My passion was really my kids. That's my whole thing.
That's why I respect it.
So everything I did is always second to that. So the second I heard I got to get a minivan, I was like, that's okay. I didn't even care. My friends made fun of me. Like, whatever. I got kids, you idiot.
I fucking love that.
But a pickup truck sounds cool.
I love that about you, man. I mean, the passion you have for your kids. I mean, which I think people should have, but that was always like, I always respected the fuck out of that. I think
it was because a big part of it was because my family situation growing up was completely fucked up. It was like, you know what I mean? Like my mom was just angry. My dad was an alcoholic. I mean, all bad things happened when I was a kid growing up. And I'm not bitching about it, but I think when that happens, a couple of things happen. One, you become that. Or two, you work hard to be the opposite.
You stop the cycle and say, I'm not going to be that.
And I did the opposite in a lot of ways. Like I continued, like the money-wise, I completely fucked up, and I'm not good at that. Well, my mom wasn't good. But being a parent, man, I think that's the one thing I know I've done. Being a parent, a comic, and a cook, or the chef. I was a chef before I did this. Those 3 things are the 3 things I've nailed in life, and I'm proud of. I'm like, I like that. I like cooking. That's my passion. I'm into it. My daughters are my passion. So I think I've done the father thing. The one thing I always wanted to be was a good dad. You know what I mean? And I think that's the proudest thing I am of. So that's when people go with your passion. Sometimes it sounds lame, right? I want to be a good dad.
Dude, when I watched that Dennis Rodman, whatever, 30 for 30, whatever, and I was like, I got 3 people go, that wasn't that great. I go, no, he was a shitty dad.
Yeah.
I go, man, in life, when it's all over, when it's all said and done with, I mean, don't get me wrong, your professional accomplishments, hey, that's great and everything, but at the end of the fucking day, if your kids are better because of you, or they remember that time that I remember when Dad was always there. So,
well, dude, that's a weird dude. I judge a man on that. Like between you and me, I'm not going to mention his name now, but I do this podcast a lot. I respect entertainers up and down. I love what we do and who we are.
Yeah.
There was a guy who was going to have this podcast. We were having a conversation before the podcast the day before, and he let it drop about he had a couple of kids, but he wasn't really involved, didn't care, and it was just we got one girl pregnant, and it was just a real shitty thing. And I was really frustrated about that. I was like, man, I don't think I want to have you on the. I didn't say that was the reason,
right?
But it was the reason we didn't record. You know what I mean?
Dude, I know. I mean, it's like, because I think about my dad. It was like situation with yours. I guess it was he grew up in a bad situation. So when he got to have kids, man, like he was, yeah. So yeah, being a good dad.
I was going to wait and see how long you could be quiet after that statement. Are you good, bro?
Hold on.
Yeah, take your time, man. What up?
Fuck, I just lost my dad in August.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
It's just hard sometimes. Fuck.
I'm sorry, bro.
No, don't be. No, that's why I was like, I respect the fuck out of you because you said that about your daughter. I go, that's why I love you, man, because you put them first.
You guys tight?
We were toward the last 20. I mean,
good.
God damn. So, yeah.
That's good, man. I know it's hard, man. So he was with you through the whole...
Everything.
Yeah.
Dad was everywhere.
And the accident and everything, man. Like his accident happened earlier this year. Shit, dude, that was just a few months ago, man. That's rough. I'm sorry, bro.
No, don't be.
No, I know it's hard, man. I mean, I lost my mom 2 years ago, but we weren't, my mom spent 30 years not talking to me. Like I said, my relationship wasn't good with my parents. So that's why I wanted to go. Mine was so shitty with my mom, I wanted to fix it with the kids.
Exactly.
So I know it's great to see someone that cares about their father that much. That means something to me. That's what it's about. You want your kids to fucking respect you and at least get something from you,
At the end of the day, he was always there. He and my mom split up, and we couldn't tell. I mean, they split up newer, and he had went and stayed with he had his own apartment. But you couldn't tell. I mean, from the outside looking in, if people were looking, they couldn't tell he wasn't there because he was there every day at the house. He'd come by, make sure we get our schoolwork, every practice, every game, he was always there. There was never a time he wasn't there. There was never a time. And he and the people in our neighborhood, like it was him and his other dad, a guy named Jackson James. And what they would do is the city was supposed to cut this field. Right, it was right next to our house, and they didn't do it. We called them, but they didn't do it. So they took it upon themselves. You understand, like the grass grew tall.
Yeah, right. No,
it had a little bambooish.
It gets like that.
Yeah, and they wouldn't cut it. The city wouldn't cut it. I mean, I don't know, it's the black side of town, whatever. But anyway, they took it upon themselves. They basically said, "Fuck it." My dad never said "fuck it." He said, "Fuck it." Yeah. So they got together, he and him. And they cut that whole field. What they did was, and something I learned from my dad, he goes, a little bit at a time, you can accomplish your goal. And what they do is, like say, this is our yard, and this is that field.
Yeah.
So my dad would get the lawnmower over. And it's push lawnmower.
Oh, dude, the old manual.
Old push lawnmower, and he would go a little bit over the normal thing, right?
Yeah.
And he'd cut a little bit of that, and the lawnmower would stall.
Yeah.
And he could cut it, right? Lawnmower would stall on the way back. Lawnmower would stall.
Yeah.
And they end up cutting the entire fucking thing. Yeah. Like Jackson James would come in maybe the next day.
Those old school gas powered ones.
Yeah.
And the little ones. Little
the old school
and before they upgraded them, they made them fucking machines. Yeah.
But my dad was, all about fitness. He was like, riding lawnmower.
Dude, you cut a field with one of those things. It's gotta be fucking brutal.
That's what I'm saying. My dad was a fucking motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
They plowed. I mean, they cut the whole field. Like the entire field. He and Jackson James did that shit because the city wouldn't cut it, and they maintained it. They maintained it.
Yeah.
The city. We never saw somebody cut that fucking field. My dad and that dude did that shit for the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They cut that shit. I was like, fuck, man. And that's why, like, when I lived with my roommate, whatever, I'd love to cut the grass. I remember my dad. Because my dad would do that shit. He'd fucking just be, and I just thought, God, look at this. I remember a kid going, look at this motherfucker, man. He handled his business. He did that. And, if he needed a ride from football practice or whatever, my dad would, give kids a ride because he understood. He understood a bad situation. Mm-hmm. And if the kids made a mistake and said, man, I flunked this test. My dad, you did what? And he would give them a talking to, but it was all out of love, Like the kids were like, hey, man, you just dropped me off here. You know what I mean? But that's what my dad was about, man. He was about just keep you on the straight and narrow. Right. And the kids were like, man, your daddy's mean. You go, no, now you just fucking...
Dude, that old school father shit, man. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so hard. It's different to be a parent these days now. Because back then when we grew up, there was no bullshit. And fathers especially. My mom was a different story. My dad was a train wreck. But I saw the men I respected in town. My football coach was one.
Yes,
he was a guy that had. My football coaches were men I respected because they had standards, they had rules, they had boundaries. They set boundaries.
Yes,
and there were other friends I have who had fathers who I looked up to that I respected as men. You know what I mean? Those guys. Eddie Sostek, the Sostek family was a great family, and I loved their parents. Because they were a family that had standards and boundaries and rules, and they raised proper kids, and you know what I mean. But they were men. Those were the men I looked up to in my neighborhood. Were guys like that. So a guy like that would be a guy like I never hated a guy like that.
They were fucking great.
They were just fucking old school men, and it's something that worked with me where I was like, I understood that.
Yes, and you respected.
Yeah.
I remember my coach. He was like, I was on the line, he was telling me something, whatever, and he goes, well, if you don't do it right, you know what happens to you? He lifted up his shirt, and he had this big scar that came down here. He goes, that's what happens. I was like, oh, shit, I better start fucking right. I mean, Coach Cole, man, even to this day, we're trying to get my foot right, like I got to do, like, a toe raises, and I still raise my hand up, because I remember Coach Cole telling me that, because I think I had bad calves when I was a kid, and he goes, told me to do this, and so when I'm trying to get this toe ready and get strength in it, I raised my hands up, and just because Coach Cole did, I just remember being in 4th grade. So
that's funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Coach Cole, that motherfucker was just, man, we love that dude.
See, it's so funny because I was such a fuck up as a kid. I was really kind of a fuck up as a kid. But the guys that I liked the most, like I was a real pain in the ass to other teachers and stuff. But if you were a teacher that was honest with me and set boundaries and didn't use your control just to be in charge of kids. There were a lot of teachers that were just like the boss kids around and would just be put you in detention and didn't pay attention and didnn't care. But there were teachers I knew. Like, there was a guy named Uremovic, and he was our social studies teacher. He taught the toughest class in school. I got like a B in it, but I loved this guy because he just had standards. He was like, your homework? No, here it is. It's 5 minutes late. What? But it's here. No. It's 5 minutes late, so now you can't have... You know what I mean? They just had certain things that as a kid that I didn't understand at the time what that was doing to me. You know what I mean? I didn't understand how I was understanding boundaries.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And how kids crave boundaries and discipline in a lot of
ways.
They
really do. I mean, they still say one thing, but they kind of respect that. Like, okay. And it's like, so when I see that, I love it. There's no... I always say... Coach, clergy, cop. We respect them or give them like almost unlimited like respect.
Right.
Ultimately, I mean, from the get-go. So to me, when they mess up, when they deserve to be punished more severely because we ultimately trust them.
We've given them our trust.
Cop, clergy, and coach.
Sure.
Because nobody respects them when they're a coach or a cop says something like, "Oh, it's a cop," hey, you know, and okay.
Well, that's why the cop thing is such an issue now. That's such a hard situation because I have friends who are cops, and I know people that are great cops.
Yeah,
but they get a bad rap because
the other motherfuckers.
Yeah, the other guys are assholes. There are asshole cops. I know them too.
Yes,
yeah.
They're the ones that make it bad for the good cops. You know,
right.
So it's and same with clergy.
That's why a good cop's got to watch his back when he goes to work every day. You know
yeah.
What I mean?
Yes. So yeah, I get that. So, but the 3 C's, when you mess up, you deserve to be punished more severely because we give you the ultimate respect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
We're depending on you to.
Yeah. But man, being a dad is That's why I always respect the fuck out of you, man. I mean that.
Thanks, man.
You do.
Thanks, man. It got easier as they got older, but I think part of that's because of what I did when they were younger, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're good women now. They really. They keep me in line.
Yeah,
they're. I go to them for advice and work. I mean,
that's great, man.
Yeah, they're good. They're really.
But
they get their shit together.
That's awesome. That's why, yeah, you could have probably been a series regular on the show or had some acting stuff, but it's like, hey, man, this is more important. And at the end of the day, that to me is what matters.
Yeah, I don't know about that because I don't want to. I hate to say stuff like that.
Nah.
Only because I used to go hang out. I remember this good story I've told before. I used to hang out at the Improv in L.A. And when Anna was born, when the kids were born, I started spending less time hanging out in certain places.
Yeah.
But I still did because you had a network.
Right.
So it was a hard balance. But every night at Thursday night, I would have to leave at like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. I got to go home. I got to feed Anna at 12. I had the 12 o'clock feeding. And a buddy goes, dude, that sucks. And I go, no, it doesn't. And it never bothered me. I was never mad. I was never like, fuck, I want to hang out and be later. If I did hang out later, it was already established with my wife at the time. But if I always left at 11, got to go, bye, see you later, bye. Yeah. And the more the kids were born, the more involved they got in their school.
Yeah.
So the less I was involved in hanging out at parties and going to stuff,
right.
LA stuff. But it never bothered me. You know what I did do was I ran creative things at the school. I taught comedy to kids. I taught improv to kids. I did an adult talent show that we did at the school that was fundraising. So I did creative things at the school, but what was out of certain industry things, and that sometimes I think might have cost me. Like sometimes I'm like, because I never had a lot of real comedy heat in LA.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I was never in the right places at the right time. I always say I was in the right place at the wrong time at the wrong place at the right time. But you choose what you do. There are a lot of comics. I have other comic friends that are parents that are in the same situation. You know, and they made a choice. You make a choice.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, what are you going to have kids that don't fucking know you, but you're all like, hey.
Or you don't have kids.
Yeah.
I know, some guys who are in their 60s, 70s don't have kids. And I know a lot of them regret it. You know?
Yeah.
Some don't.
Yeah.
But some of them do. I guess it's a choice thing that comes down to it. But also, it has to do, you make a decision in your mind and you stand behind it. You know?
Yeah. So.
And you what's the word I'm looking forward to? There are repercussions for your actions, and you accept those repercussions.
As you should, because you know it's got to be coming.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, every decision you make is going to have it. So when you go, this didn't work out, you go, well, I made this decision. Well, okay, I'm good with that. I'm fine.
Every action is a reaction.
Yeah,
it's like a comedy.
Right, and
acting.
And everything makes you, and acting, you're exactly right. That's what acting is. And everything you do makes you who you are, just like every decision and line and move you make in a scene makes the scene what it is and makes the character what it is.
Yeah, you're reacting. So. Yeah.
That's how close it is to real life.
It
is. You know
is.
what I mean? And really, when it all comes down to, it comes down to being present and just listening and reacting.
Yes. I mean, that's why, you hope something happens to good people like yourself, because it's like, you make the decision, but some people, do sacrifice this for that, but it's like, hey, man, for somebody who's doing it right, you want something good to happen to them. Somebody who's doing it right, who's raising kids, like you said, doing what you did at the school and this and that, for just out of the love of this, of love of, your daughters, the love of, trying to raise them to be better people and the people around them. So it's not industry related, like I'm doing this, maybe there's a director and, Scorsese's son is in it, so maybe, it's just for the goodness of it. And that's where it's, when you do something good without expecting any repercussion,
No.
It's almost like
it's called the selfless act, I guess, maybe.
It's almost like this ship. It's like, I remember going through laundry, and we had run out of laundry detergent. And I was like, fuck. And this dude, I asked this dude, I was like, he had laundry detergent. He goes, follow me. And he gave me his laundry detergent. I gave him $5. He goes, you give me money? He goes, but I helped you. And it didn't dawn. He goes, I don't understand. I go, no, you helped me. He goes, but I just helped you. Yeah, he didn't want to take the money. I go, just fucking take it. But it was, it was just just the goodness of his heart. He gave me his laundry.
Yeah, you know what, dude? There's not enough of that selfless thing going on anymore. It's like you know what I mean?
I think there is. I think
so?
I think we just don't see it. I mean, I think
Right.
I think the way they set everything up, maybe on media and this and that.
Well, social media for sure.
Well, we
got certain things shoved down our
We
throat.
think that, but in real life, if you go out, it's like people are still fucking like on this level. I still think it's still basically the same. I mean, it's like when I was my truck ran out of gas, and these people helped me push my truck. I didn't ask if they were MAGA or they were Democrats or whatever, and they were still. You talk on this level, and they were still okay. I mean, every now and then, That's why I think majority. I'm gonna say even 85-90% are basic. Hey, how you doing? Help you out, people. After that, then maybe it lessens. But I think the 1% are bad. Are the ones that are real assholes. But they're the ones that get the. And that's why it shocks you. It's a shock to the system when you meet somebody who's actually kind of an asshole. Like, oh fuck, like, hey man, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? I fucking heard you. Like, oh shit, this guy's an asshole. It's like, and that's why it's a shock to you, because people are used to just your everyday, how you doing? Hey, and whatever, mate, and waving, and they open the door, and so everything's okay. But then that asshole comes, that's just like, I was here. No, you fucking cutting, like, oh shit, and they're assholes, and like, and people react like different, like, oh shit, you don't know how to deal with it because you're not used to dealing with it. Everybody's kind of on that same level.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer in the 1%er, because I like motorcycle gangs.
I think there's more assholes out there than there are non-assholes.
I think it seems that way. I think that the top level you go, which is like the 1%ers or 10% that own all the wealth, I think they're fucking
those
assholes.
people are horrible people. They're all horrible because they don't care about the small.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates.
Shit. Well, we're talking about the guy that got killed, the United Healthcare guy or whatever, the Chris Rock line. You know what I mean? The joke. You know what I mean? It was a brilliant joke that you're right. The rest of the world, 80% of the country has had something turned down medically.
Yeah.
And again, you're not. Everyone says the same thing. No one's justifying the murder of this guy. We never say that. There's kids that are fatherless, and you know what I mean. There are. It's a sad story. But he lives this life, and a lot of the world, they've had a family member die because they didn't have a medical procedure approved. After you pay medical insurance your entire life, I get it. And United Healthcare is this close to going to court over it because of that algorithm situation they were in.
It's almost like the older Chris Rock joke. It's like, listen, I'm not justifying his murder, but I understand.
Yeah, it's the oldest. Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It's just the truth, man.
Right.
It's like,
you
expect me to have a bleeding heart. I mean, this fucking detective in New York go, these people are saying, they're pro Luigi. Well, he killed us. And I go, and I was like, really? I said, because in the same week, there's a dude who choked somebody out on the subway and killed him, but he's invited to the incoming president's suite to watch the Army-Navy game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, so I still believe most of the time people are your basic good. And I think the assholes are a shock to the system. Now, like I said, when you go upper tier, then because it's a power thing and they want all the money and all that. And that's assholish. But that's still the 10% or the 1%ers.
Right.
You know what I mean? They have all the money.
Well, also, like, here, let's look at it from our world where we work. We're on this ship. We're entertainers. We come on the ship. We work for a while. Every once in a while you run into another entertainer who's an asshole. What does happen is they get weeded out. Eventually, you don't stick around if you're an asshole. That's what happens if you're an asshole. I think in a certain world, other people don't want to associate with you.
Well, unless they're really, really, really talented. If they're,
I don't know about that here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You can look the other way. I think there's a window with entertainers on ships where they're like, we're not going to pay a lot of money because this person's great.
Yeah.
If the person's a real jerk, we're not going to deal with this person.
Yeah, because we can be easily replaced.
You can bring in, you can bring in another entertainer for sure.
I mean, no offense, but like we talked about, it's like sometimes I worry about it. I go, but literally every day you're seeing an urgent, we need to come. I go, like,
Yeah. No, and it's like that. There's other fleets out there that are all, there's a lot of entertainers out here.
A lot of entertainers.
Tons.
So but I'm a firm believer in that. Like, I don't buy into everybody's bad. I mean, I do sometimes. I've watched the news and this and that. I do get pissy, and then I go out and see people and talk to them. I go, okay, you know.
Well, fuck the news because they only talk about what's bad. That's part of the problem is, the news is all everything bad. Social media is all everything bad. So sometimes that's pounded in your head. Maybe that clouds out the fact.
It does. And then when you go out in real life, and think, okay, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Dude, here's a good story. I don't know if you read the story. There's a woman that was a liberal, a big supporter of Hillary Clinton, and she moved. Her husband got a job. They moved to the Northeast, and they moved into a hardcore Republican MAGA community. And she was worried. She was hardcore left, liberal. And she's like, I'm gonna hate these people. And she's like, and she wrote this article for the New York Post, and it's a great article. And it's about how, my car broke down in the winter, and they were the first people. The neighbors are amazing. They run out. And he goes, I've learned, after living here for a year, she wrote this article.
Yeah.
She goes, I've learned, she goes, that judging people by who they vote for,
exactly.
and that point of view, they painted a picture of these people to be horrible. He goes, people are people. They're wonderful.
Yes.
They come over when I'm sick. They help me out. They watch my kids. It's a lovely community. It's safe. Everybody's good,
Yeah.
She goes, I was completely wrong coming here thinking, these people are going to be horrible. She goes, they couldn't be the more lovely people in the world.
Yeah.
Until you have an assumption of people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
yes.
Until you spend time with them, you go, oh shit, it was, I didn't realize.
Yeah, exactly, man. So that's what you got to do. You got to get out and kind of like, I don't say meet people, but just get out in the world and you go, it's.
Well, that's part of the problem is this news thing, because it paints that evil thing, it divides us. So we're not listening to each other. And if you go back to people listening to each other, you realize we all got a lot more in common than we don't.
If people get out and just talk to each other and be, I mean, you know what? It's within certain groups or whatever that if you micro it, then you see that people get like motorcycle riders, then you see like people get, hey, what kind of bike is that? I had this one, and you talk.
Yeah.
You talk. Or like, you go to like a bike night, for the most part. I mean, your 1%ers aren't going to be there, but everybody else will be.
Right.
So you'll have, the whole thing is Harley guys don't really get along with anybody that's not riding a Harley. Like a 40 to 60-year-old white Harley guy is kind of like an asshole. That they won't give you the wave if you ride anything but a Harley.
Oh right, yeah.
They're kind of
I've heard that vibe. I've heard about that.
And so man, I was coming back from fucking, where was I coming back from? Was it from Arizona? I was an unofficial member of the Iron Butt Club. That's when you go over 1,000 miles in 24 hours on a motorcycle.
Wow.
You're supposed to keep your receipts, but I'm an unofficial member. But what
makes you official?
You have to keep the receipts and turn them in and show that you.
I see.
Yeah,
all right, run on.
But I was just fucking, like I left Tucson, Arizona at 10 o'clock at night, and so I was gonna go to Oklahoma, and I was fucking driving all night, and it was summertime, and I was drained. I was like Amarillo, and I was on the turnpike. This fucking cool ass white kid from Tulsa. He's on a Harley, man, and we're at the turnpike, and I pulled over and was cleaning my bike, He go, hey man, where you from? I said, I'm going to Tulsa see my mom. Oh, okay, man. Hey, I work at the Harley dealership. If you need anything, man, just come on by. I said, yeah, cool, man. And he fucking takes off on his Harley and boom. So, I had my bike, I had a Ducati, and so I was like, I'm gonna catch this motherfucker,
Yeah.
I literally from the turnpike, I literally did 100 miles an hour the whole way.
Yeah.
I didn't catch up with that motherfucker until we got to Tulsa.
Really?
That dude was moving.
Yeah,
but I got there, but I had to get myself, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
And I passed one, fuck yes, and man, it was so fucking cool, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. So, when you micro it and you get people with similar likes, then you kind of get to talking and it kind of breaks the ice a little bit. So
it's a niche. There's little niche communities.
Yeah.
You know what? Every niche you can say that's like that. There's people that live in the crafting world. My sister-in-law, ex-sister-in-law, who's very sweet. She's really into crafting, and she got my daughters occasionally to go to crafting conventions.
Yeah.
Which are these huge things. It's everything from a little elf figurine to a house, but they all know each other.
Exactly,
they all communicate. And they talk. And they
exactly.
So yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love that.
That biker thing is I always wanted to get in that bike, ride a bike, man, or a motorcycle.
Dude.
My wife never wanted me to do it. Then when I got old, I really couldn't do it because of the kids and the money and stuff. But
I fucking love it.
Man, it's a great community. I know a ton of guys from that community. I used to work the Sturgis rally every year.
Really?
Yeah, and when I was out living on the road back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And back then I had really long hair.
I can see that.
Dude, and I fit in with that group. There was a biker bar. There was a rock and roll biker bar in Illinois I used to play called the Pig Pen, and they loved me. I used to go, the owner used to bring me back like once a month. and he brought me back a lot. It was just this one-nighter, and the guys hated that room, and they loved me there. I mean,
I bet.
So then I started doing the Sturgis rally, and I wasn't official Sturgis with it, but I came in and did these one-nighters. There was one in Deadwood, there's one in Sturgis, there's one in all those areas.
Rapid City.
And I played that whole southwest, South Dakota area, the Black Hills. I was there for the whole rally. I would bounce around, just do rooms, hang out in the bars. I forgot, I loved it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I mean, I lucked into Sturgis. I happened to be there doing a one-nighter, and it was, Sturgis was there.
Yeah.
And then Daytona the same way. It was a bike week. And I went to, it's funny, but in Myrtle Beach, there's Black Bike Week and there's Bike Week. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
There's Bike Week, right? And they do shit too, but no one talks about that. When Black Bike Week comes, a lot of businesses shut down. They increase police presence, but it's funny because black people know it, so they don't really fuck around.
Right.
So it's kind of funny because I didn't notice that. I mean, it was a big thing in the news for a while, but that's just how it is. Black Bike Week and there's Bike Week. Bike Week is the big week before,
right?
And then there's Black Bike Week. So, but I remember when everybody met up at a Hooters. And I think there was maybe one security guard. The dude was like, you notice there's just one security guard and all of us here? And everybody was on their best behavior. Like, I didn't see any, it was good stuff. There's always going to be a little,
shenanigans.
The greatest was, I remember, like, I wanted to get some speed in because I hated going down, So I got on the outer loop, and there was a bike in front of me, and I could tell there was a girl on it. Something wasn't right. And I approached her. She was bent over, but she didn't have any underwear on. She didn't have any, and her little mini dresses. Because a lot of them go to the strip clubs, and they pick up a stripper, and they get on the bike.
Right.
And that's what it was. And I was trying to maneuver my way around so I could slap her on the ass, and then go off on the exit. But I was like, I'm not going to do that. But I wanted to do that so bad. I wanted to slap her on the ass, because it was right there. I go, oh, the ass is right there. And I wanted, and she was bent over, and the little thing was flirting. I was wanting to just slap her on the ass and then get off on the exit, in case, but I didn't. But so yeah, it's kind of funny, man, how that is. I mean, that's divided, obviously, but for the most part, man, people get together over bikes, or like people. That's a great conversation starter. When I rode from Indianapolis to Sacramento, and then back, I was stopped in that middle. I don't know where it was. I don't know if it was Nevada. I don't know if it was Utah.
Yeah.
And I just remember this dude talking. He goes, I was at a truck stop, and he's like, "Hey man, listen."
Loves truck stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was getting some coffee, and he goes, "Listen, but I don't know which way you're going back, but if you don't want to go through Wyoming," I said, "you can go through Wyoming and then take Highway 53. It'll lead you to Colorado. And man, it's pretty scenic. So I'm just saying if you want to." But he was sincere, And I was like, "Okay, thanks, bro." Yeah. And I took his word for it, right? About 2 or 3 miles in, there was no road. They were doing construction. There was no road.
Oh no!
You understand? There's no road. They're doing construction. So I had my bags on, and I had to go through just gravel and everything because there was no road. They were doing, so for about a mile, and it was so tricky. I was like, "Oh fuck!" I had to keep the bike up.
Yeah.
Over just no fucking road, And
so was he fucking with you?
No. I mean, he didn't know probably. I mean, he wouldn't know. Right. He would just said, "Take this road." But he was right though. Once I got past that. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, right. Okay.
But it was just, I had to laugh. Got like, fuck.
Yeah,
really.
Right.
But you know what though? Even going through that, it was better than taking the interstate through Wyoming. Because he was right. It was once I got past that shit, it was beautiful. It was fucking scenic. Nice. It was beautiful. They had like a spaghetti kind of like turn in and then come up, and it was fucking beautiful. Like I get some speed going, then and then come up the mountain and then went to I went in a little too fast. I was like, man, I was glad nobody was on the other side of the road. Like it was great. So you get those conversations with people you wouldn't think you normally would have, and I remember talking to this dude, this guy. Man, all I want to do is get some coffee at McDonald's and be on my way, right? And this dude comes over and fuck. I was like, I don't feel like getting this conversation. Yeah. And I know I felt that way, but man, we started talking. I felt so bad because he goes, I used to ride, but I ended up getting sick, so I could. But I go, where you live? I said, Indianapolis. You know what? When I used to ride, I went to Indianapolis, and there was a Filipino guy. These black bikers, and they surrounded me kind of. And they led me to their clubhouse, and he goes, "We partied for 2 days." Yeah. he goes, "We got partied for 2 days." And he goes, he was part of a bikers that they would take a ride from Sacramento to Washington D.C. for veterans.
Yeah.
And they ride across country for veterans. But he said when he went to Indianapolis, the black bikers took him to their clubhouse. Didn't even know him. They just got by him and led him into their club, and they partied for 2 days.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, fuck, man. Stories like that, they go, yeah. You know, so it's just, I love it, man. It's just that rebel in me.
Dude, you know Mark Sweeney, right?
Yeah, he's at Harley.
Sweeney rides. Yeah, dude, him and BT are going on a ride in August, I think. Or him and Percy.
Yeah,
Percy. Yeah, he was just telling me about it. Dude, Mark does these things where he takes, like, you probably do them, he takes like 2 weeks off. And just rides.
Yeah. So you need it. It's the greatest shit in the world.
Yeah, that sounds so cool to me. To
it is.
Do it. Yeah.
I remember, like, I put my little headphones in, you know, little earbuds in.
Yeah.
I listen to music. And, I mean, the ultimate was I was going from, that's when I went to Indianapolis, Sacramento. So I stopped off in Nebraska somewhere. It was North Platte or Kearney. They both look the same. So I remember, like, it was like 7 in the morning. And that song from Supertramp came on. It was early morning yesterday. Yeah. I was up before the dawn. And I said that as I was getting on the interstate.
Oh,
and it was like just fucking perfect. I was like, whoa. It was early morning yesterday.
Dude, music's got to be such a big part of that vibe.
It's the greatest biker song, though, is Gypsy Biker by Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
Motherfucker. That is the ultimate.
I'm a huge Springsteen fan. I don't know that.
You would think Born to Be Wild would be, but it's actually Gypsy Biker. There's a line in that song. He goes, he goes, oh, you asked me a question and I didn't get it right. I fucking love that line.
Yeah.
You asked me a question and I didn't get it right. Fuck. It's basically saying he lied.
Yeah.
But the way he said that. Listen to Gypsy Biker by Bruce Springsteen.
I gotta get that song.
And it's the greatest.
I'm a huge Springsteen fan. I've seen it a bunch of times.
Yeah, Springsteen's the best. When he got booed at his own concert for standing up to, he talked about that dude, that immigrant that got shot 41 times by the NYPD.
Yeah, well, he did that song 41 times. Yeah.
Yeah, American Skin.
American Skin. Yeah.
And
My American Skin.
And they booed him at his own concert.
Yeah.
I mean, that's balls.
Yeah.
They booed him at his own concert. That's why I respect fucking Bruce Springsteen.
Well, he did that in New York too, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's where that happened, right?
Yeah. Man, I mean that
was a long time ago.
That's
too.
Respect, though.
Yeah.
That's respect. But yeah, listen to Gypsy Biker, man.
Yeah.
That fucking song is so fucking great.
Dude, I'll tell you.
I mean, you feel like you're riding when you hear that song. It's the great. That's why, like, when you get when you travel long ways, you don't be on a time frame and just ride. Go if you want to stop, you stop. And I remember like stopping the truck stop, like, and they had a TV, and I go, fucking, I had to. It was attached to like an IHOP or a Denny's.
Yeah.
Got some hash browns while I was watching TV. I go, it's time to ride. I'd ride.
Yeah.
And then I go, I'm kind of tired, so I stopped, and it was a fucking it was a hotel. But I made sure I was a member of, like, So I go, hey man, you guys mind if I just come and do it? Yeah, cool, no problem. They let me, use the hotel computer, and I.
That's cool.
And I go, okay, it's time to go.
Yeah,
and I go, and then when I was in Wyoming, man, it was like I felt like a pussy because I was trying to ride, but the wind was really blowing, right, and it was blowing me off the fucking road, right,
dude, yeah.
And I felt like a pussy, but the truck in front of me had a trailer, and he pulled off. I said, fuck it, this guy pulls off. And it turns out...
Dude, it's rough in a car up there, man.
And I saw 3 funnel clouds in the sky that were close to me. And I go, okay, I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
I saw 3 funnel clouds. I said, okay, it's kind of like a little tornado. But if it rains, like, I have my rain gear, but, sometimes you pull into, like a gas station truck stop and it's got the awning over it.
Yeah.
And you park in between the pumps so you're not fucking with the cars.
Yeah.
And you park there and you just wait it out.
Yeah.
Or if they got a place to sit, you go sit, get some coffee,
Yeah.
chill out. And you're on your way. Nobody really fucks with you either.
Yeah.
For some reason, there's like a stereotype. I mean, I'm the furthest thing from a 1%er, but
right.
People don't really fuck with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
They talk to you and they are interested, and it's really cool. You get stories like, man, I wish I could ride with my wife. And like, man, you know, I mean, you get that shit. You know,
that's my story.
Yeah, but and I get it. And you talk, and they're genuine and they're good people. So it's like you don't mind having a conversation with them. It's like, and they find out why they, and they always. I think a little bit of them wants to be you.
Yeah,
like a little bit of
fuck
like,
yeah. That's
like,
I feel that way all the time.
I wish I could be like you and drive across the, have no responsibilities.
Yeah, dude, I miss that. It reminds me of my old years on the road when I lived out of my car.
Same here.
All over the place. The only thing, like, if I have to drive in my car now more than 6 hours, it bugs me. I get annoyed.
Exactly. I
can't do it.
Yes.
I literally get tired.
Yes.
But I used to drive fucking 10 hours. Bam.
Yeah.
But I like the freedom of being in my car. All 2 things. One, everything I owned was in my truck.
Same here.
And driving, it was like, if I would be like, okay, I got gigs in Rapid City on Friday. I got 4 days to get there. I can take my time. I can stop here. I used to stop. What I would do is I would drive. My car didn't have air, so I would drive at night, and I would stop in the afternoon. I watch movies at movie theaters.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, my brother and I used to do this all the time. And then we'd grab something and get back on the road. And then I would sleep in the car at a rest area maybe, because my car was huge. So I had back seat, I had a blanket, it was almost like a bed. You know, if I locked it, I could just sleep. So, I mean, but I missed the not in a hurry to get anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you ever go like, did you ever do the, you work out at the gym so you can get your shower for the day.
Oh yeah.
And then go, and then get something to eat, and then go to the movies, and then hit the road.
I could kill a whole day in a town. I would pull into town. I'd go to the gym. Sometimes I'd work out. Sometimes just take a shower if you're tired or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I could get exercise in, take a shower, get a nice lunch, go watch a movie. Mike and I would watch movies. What we would do is we would buy one movie and then sneak into as many movies as we could until we had to leave. So we'd pay for one movie to see 3 or 4 movies.
Isn't that the greatest?
And then I'd like to be on the road when it got dark. I would like to get on when it got dark because dark was driving time. I go, it's 9 p.m., 10 p.m. I go, let's go. I can get a good 8 hours in now.
Yes,
and
exactly.
And drive for 8 hours, and then the next morning sleep at the early part of the morning, have the dust wake me up, and then start all over the next day.
See, I felt the same way about same as you, man. I lived on the road for 3 years, and then I went to LA, and then and then now I was like, that's why I had a sport bike, and I said, you know what, for this part of my life, I'm gonna get me a sport touring bike. So if I get a gig and I gotta drive to it, it'll be fun. It won't be like in a car. It'll be fun because I'll be on a motorcycle, and that's what I did. That's what made it great. Because so if I went to say Nebraska for a gig, I rode my motorcycle. Yeah, and it was a lot better than being in a car.
Oh yeah,
because I always made and so that's why I did that the last part. I was like, man, you drive 4 hours for a gig. Like, what the fuck am I doing? But if you're on a motorcycle, it's fucking fun.
Yeah, no, I think you would look forward to it. I think that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm going through West Virginia, through the Twisties in West Virginia.
And taking more not on the interstate. Because in a car, you're on the interstate the whole time.
Yeah,
you don't want to be dealing with the sun. You know what I mean? But in a motorcycle, you can take advantage of these side roads and shit. Yeah,
and just seeing the country, and it's that. Yeah, that's the best. I went from in November. I went from Indianapolis to Vero Beach in November to a gig for a weekend gig for a Comedy Zone, right?
Okay.
And so Wednesday night, I had acting class in Louisville, Kentucky. So after that, I just drove to Nashville, got a fucking for a hotel there, but I had a flat on the front tire of my bike on a curve. I had a flat on the front tire.
Oh no shit!
So I was like, something's wrong. But I just happened to be when I found out I had a front tire, my hotel was right there.
Yeah.
So the next day I had to call. Next day was a pain in the ass. I had to get towed to a dealership. They had to put so I was running behind. But anyway, it was great because I went to Florida on the bike. But on the way back, it was a weird kind of it was just cold that winter. And man, on the way back, because I stopped in the acting class, because I went the Wednesday, I went to acting class. From there, I'm for acting class to Vero Beach. But on the way back, it was I left on a Sunday, and that class was Monday, and that Monday I went to acting class, but it was 20 degrees. Oh, sorry.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, sorry. It was like 20 fucking degrees. So, and I had to get back to Indy, and that's a 2-hour drive. Yeah. So every 20 miles, I'd stop. My hands were frozen. I'd stop. I literally walk into a convenience store, take my gloves off, and put my hands around the coffee.
Yeah.
Say, like this. And I literally be like this. And I get some coffee or some tea, and I'm like, all right, let's go. For another 20 miles, same thing. And then finally I said, fuck, just quit being a pussy.
Yeah.
Man, I remember getting off the interstate, and my hands were just rocks, and I couldn't even pull the clutch lever in.
Yeah.
So somehow I had it like this, but I took this hand and I did like this to bring the clutch in.
Oh my god!
Luckily, I caught the green light, turned.
Yeah.
And I remember getting to the house, and fucking the garage came up, and I got off the bike. And you understand, I couldn't take my helmet off.
Right.
So I'm inside, just like a fucking door. I'm inside, just like this.
Just waiting to defrost.
Waiting my hand for the defrost. Like this. Waiting my fucking hand to defrost.
Oh my god.
I'm like a dork with the fucking helmet on inside the kitchen going, come on, man. Just like this. So, yeah, man.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, bro. So, but, you like what you love. And I think, that's my passion. And this is my passion. And, I just want to be in fucking movies, man.
Yeah.
I want to be in movies, and, yeah. I want to see movies.
Well, dude, we live in a good time now because Indianapolis, you can do shit all over the country. You can tape stuff. You can get,
except for taking acting class in Indianapolis, which is, you can take it. You know what I mean? I gotta go fucking 2 hours to go, but It is what it is.
And that's how you got the bike wreck doing that.
I'm going to acting class.
You want to talk about the bike wreck?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me exactly what happened.
I was riding my motorcycle and I was late. I was going to acting class and and like I said, what I thought happened didn't happen. I swear to God, if you would have said what happened, I said I saw the car in front of me swerved, and I swear.
How fast were you going?
Interstate speed, so it had
55, 60?
No, it had to be about 80.
Oh, fuck.
It's interstate speed, so the speed limit's 70, so it had to be
right. Yeah.
75. So the car in front of me swerved, and I swear, on a stack of Bibles, I saw a green trash can.
Like a dumpster?
Yeah.
Okay.
I swear to God. And I felt like there was little hands pushing it.
Yeah.
And I just remember going, I'm not going to make it. Because I remember swerving.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to make it. And it was like and there was this house that me and my dad used to go to when I was a kid.
Yeah. And
it was kind of like up in the air, in a way. And I go, why is Sarge's house up here? And I thought, maybe I'm dreaming. And then the next thing you know, I was like, whoop. I'm like trying to take my helmet off because I couldn't breathe. I'm like, and I look down, there's all this blood here. I'm like, what the fuck is that about? I'm like, I go, I can't breathe. And then all of a sudden I'm on my back. And this hot chick is like holding my hand going, come on, just breathe, it's gonna be okay. And I was like, oh man, hey. And I was like,
yeah.
And I go, this chick's fucking hot. I don't think that's right.
Really?
Yeah.
When you're almost
Dude, I'm like,
hey, Brady.
Yeah, I go, this chick's fucking hot. She goes, just breathe, you'll be okay, hold my hand. I go, oh, I'm definitely holding hand.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, but so, and eventually we got the dash cam video of, and it, nothing like I thought happened. Because I thought,
wait, your dash cam?
No, it was the guy behind me had a dash cam.
Oh no, somebody got this all on video?
All on video. So, and I watched it, I go, where the fuck does Jeep come from? I don't remember a Jeep. Where the fuck did Jeep come from? So this Jeep gets in front of me,
right.
And then something went into the road. Don't know what it is, something.
Right.
And that's when I saw it, and it hit me. So that's why, like, this is, and my fucking, my leg right here is all fucked up.
Right.
That's why. And it's like, 'cause it hit me. And that's what it made me fall off the bike,
dude.
And I
fucking 80 miles an hour. Jesus
and I went
Christ.
backwards. That's why my helmet has this little thing here, and I think it's for me.
Yeah.
Going backwards, and that's why. And I go, that didn't happen like I thought it did. And
right.
The helmet, boom, and I think I was out for a little bit, like a flash knockout.
Yeah.
I think it was like that because if you watch the video, I got the video, and I'm tumbling over and shit, and I'm like, and I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Dude, it's never how you remember it.
It's never.
Dude, I got hit by a car in California once. I was working as a courier. I got to do a bit about this. I think I might try it tonight, actually.
Do it.
It was right after my oldest daughter was born.
Yeah.
And I was a courier, right? And I was doing the acting thing in LA,
Yeah.
So I remember I'm at the corner of Ventura and Sepulveda, and I get out of a building and I got to go to my cars across the street. And the crosswalk is to my right. I fucked this up, by the way. My crosswalk is, and the light is over here, but I go, I can just shoot through traffic right here and I'll be right at the car. Right? So I remember stepping out. I took a step out and there was a car here, I was good. I took another step to the right and I should have looked left and I didn't. And the next thing, I don't remember shit after that. I remember nothing. I remember feeling like somebody hit my leg with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember flying through the air. And I remember, this is exactly what I remember. I remember that, and I remember flying through the air, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm flying through the air. And I remember my ex-wife used to watch these medical shows all the time.
Yeah.
And she said 90% of head trauma comes from when you hit the ground. That's what happens. Not when you get hit or impact.
Yeah.
It's the after effect. So she says, if anything ever happens to you, cover your head. So I go, I'm flying through the air, I better cover my head. So I cover my head, right? And I hit the ground, I bounce around, everything fucking, and then next thing I'm just laying on the ground. And I start to see a bunch of people walk up to me. And I remember looking at their faces, because I didn't know what happened, but I wanted to see if they ran up and looked at me and went, oh, if I was messed up. But they didn't, so they run up and I'm laying on the ground. And this is in 2020, just after 2001, after Anna was born, right? And it was 9/11 was in 2001, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is late 2001, early 2002. I'm laying on the ground, and somebody looks at me and goes, "Are you okay? Are you okay? You're fine. Don't move. But I'm laying there. Okay. All right. I'm good. There's blood. I'm like, fuck you. And someone goes, who's the president of the United States? And I go, Bush. the second one. and they bring me to the hospital. And there's a longer story after that. I'll give it the show tonight. But the whole point is, I thought I got hit by a fucking white. I didn't know what happened. I thought I got hit by a car and just flew in the air and landed on the ground. And what I found out later was, I got hit by a white sports car, that small little one that shot me up in the air, and I came down on top of an SUV.
Oh.
And went through the windshield of the SUV.
Oh shit!
And then they slammed on the brakes, and I shot back up through the air.
Fuck!
And I flipped backwards twice and landed on the ground. So someone told me this afterwards. There's no video footage of it, but there were witnesses that told, because the cop came in to see me. I'll do it tonight. I think I'll talk about it tonight. Yeah. But because the cop, they thought it was. I mean, and all I had was fucking a limp and a bruise, and there's scars here. You can see I got stitches on this arm. I broke nothing. I broke no bones. I walked out of the hospital fucking 6 hours later, limped it with a cane. And the hospital, everyone was just standing there. Fucking the cop walked in at one point, and they were like, "We cannot believe that you survived that fucking accident."
Wow.
And then I went home and I picked up my daughter and held her for an hour crying.
Wow.
Like an hour. I mean, all I thought about was her. She was just born.
Yeah.
And I was just freaked out.
Yeah.
But the point is, I thought I got hit by a car and just landed on the ground.
Yes.
I pounded around in the air.
Yeah.
I don't remember none of that shit. I don't remember anything.
You remember like a whoop? To me, it was like I just remember like seeing it when I thought it was a trash can being pushed, and all of a sudden it was like a.
The Jeep was the trash can.
And that's
that was
it.
But no, I remember the feeling of I remember the baseball bat thing.
Yeah.
It really felt like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
My fucking leg out.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I just remember. I remember flying through the air. And then coming to on the ground. That's all I remember.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah.
But you don't remember the way it fucking happened.
And it's funny because I mean, you couldn't be more protected than I was. I literally.
Dude, good for you, bro, for doing the right thing.
I had motorcycle racing boots on.
Yeah.
My jeans were Kevlar jeans. They were Kevlar riding jeans.
Right.
And they had a rubber, a gel that went over my knee like it. Because I thought to myself, man,
dude, that's why you're fucking alive, bro.
I go, do I want to wear that? I said, you know what? I said, yeah, I guess, because it would irritate me in a way. And I was like, I'll go ahead and wear it. And I think that's what saved my leg, because the way it came down like this. And if you look at my leg, I don't know if I can get my thing up, whatever, to show. I mean, it's a lot better than it used to be, but you see that, it came right there. Yeah.
Do you mind if I get a shot of that?
Yeah.
Oh man!
And that's it better. I mean, because
was it? What happened? Was it broken? Was it how?
It didn't break, but it could have been. It was.
Man, you were lucky as fuck that you were wearing the right shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's the leg.
Dude, that's fucking gross.
Yeah. So it's like, even my roommate was like, whoa, and she's tough. She's like, whoa, and she went through some shit too. So it's like, So, but the gel, I think what came right there, and I think that's what saved the leg.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it did. You had all the right gear on.
I had a helmet.
Dude, you should do a fucking commercial for that stuff.
I did hit the helmet company. I go, hey man, you gotta save my life. I didn't hear shit from them, but yeah, because I had a shirt, a hoodie, and a motorcycle specific jacket that had pads here and there. Had pads here, and I had motorcycle racing gloves.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
But the only reason where it is because they took it's a skin graft from here, and they put it on my foot.
Right.
And then the skin from here went to here. Okay. So that's why
Well, God bless you, brother.
Thanks,
God lay your back, man.
Yeah.
You fucking.
Yeah, I had to fucking have I think the funny thing I was still trying to stay in shape, so I was doing wheelchair yoga, which I thought was funny. I was doing wheelchair yoga. I was fucking, I had a shower chair, and I was like, oh God damn it! I had to sit in the shower and take a shower, and but I had to angle my leg out because they couldn't get wet, so I had to angle my leg out and take a shower, and then when I finally was able to stand up in the shower, I literally had to take a break. Like I felt like a basketball player trying to hold Michael Jordan in the '80s, I would get tired because this leg was start shaking. Wasn't used to standing.
Right.
This leg right here, so the good leg starts shaking.
Right.
And my showers maybe 13 minutes, but I remember it was 3 minutes. I had to go. I had to bend over. I'm getting tired. It was funny, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, you fought through it, dude. That's the type of this isn't gonna beat me mentality. You know what I mean? You have two choices there. You just lay around and don't do shit, or you go, I gotta get over this.
My whole thing was for some reason I never went. It was just let me get out of here. I said, let me get to PT and I'll be all right. Let me get to PT.
Right.
I said, I'll fucking kill PT.
Yeah.
And then I'm in PT now, and this dude takes my fucking toe, which the toe is the most painful. He takes my toe. And he's, so anyway, BT, and I'm like, and I said, I wish I could punch you in the fucking face right now. I did. And he goes, okay. But, he got it. He goes, I know. He goes, that's why we measured the distance. Like, like there's this much different. And we laughed.
That's funny.
He's the greatest. They're the greatest. I'm glad I had them for PT. Like, everybody there is just awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody there's a guy there. He's a wrestler also. So we have something to talk about. He's just all great. Everybody's just good positive mentality. So it's fun. We all joke around. It's great. And so yeah, man. So I was just on the, I feel like I'm on the way back. I feel hopefully. I just think in the next 2 months, I think I'll be there. But
are you going to? What are you doing? Are you going to the gym doing some physical stuff here?
I'm doing like the exercise I do at physical therapy. So yeah.
Okay.
So the first 30 minutes is like all rehab, and then I do just a little bit of exercise on my own. I mean, as far as like but yeah, man, it's all for this.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's all right, dude. Because if you don't. Take care of it now. You'll be mobile in 20 years. You know what I mean? Because you don't do it.
No, yeah.
You don't do it right 20 years from now. You'll be. You know what I mean?
I'm just like you, man. It's like you're always mobile. I'm always the same way.
Keep moving. Yeah.
Keep moving. It's all about keep moving.
Yeah. Don't be stagnant, man.
Once you get stagnant.
Yeah.
It's over.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Let's do this one a little longer than I thought it would, but we covered a lot of shit.
Fuck yeah, bro. It's a good time.
Yeah, dude. It was really great. I'm glad you were here, man. Thank you. First of all, I always love working with you, man.
I love working with you, man.
I look forward to tonight because I'll get to sit and watch your whole adult show, the late one.
Yeah, man.
So that'll be cool. You want to plug socials or anything at the camera, man?
I'm at BT_comedy, BT_comedy on Instagram. Check me out on TikTok. Same thing. I have 1 minute movie reviews because I feel like a minute of me is enough for anybody. So it's 1 minute long movie reviews. So yeah, and I try to be as honest as possible. Like, I'm not getting paid for it, so I'm telling you the truth about movies. But like I said, I never like to badmouth the movie. So if I do, that movie is a fucking shit storm. So get your fucking slickers. You know what I mean? So yeah, any movie under a minute 30, yeah. Bring your galoshes. It's gonna be a shit storm. So yeah, so that's me, BT_comedy, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
No, fucking thank you, bro. This is all right. Man, it's easy sell, bro. Anything you do, I'm in it. I'm in.
Thank you.
I'm in.
You're still watching? That's amazing. Nobody does that. Nobody, but you did. That means you want more. Pick one of these clips. Go for it. I dare you. Hey, also, follow one of those social media thingies.